This is Acceptable Vices. Tonight on the show... Wait, no, this isn't Acceptable Vices. Fuck!
Totally professional.
I know, right? Isn't it just grand? Isn't it great?
Also, it is unfortunate that the Lemeth bot does not pick up these broadcasts, so I have to do it manually. I'll explain that comment later.
Yeah, right. This is Friday Night Party Line. Tonight on the show, we've got Skojo.
Hey.
Hey, Skojo, how you doing?
Well, I just spent the week at the beach, so I'm sunburned.
Yay, beach. Boo, sunburn.
I did notice you had been looking a little Alex Jones after supplements.
Yeah, I'm looking a little burned in my camera.
A little bit.
I love that picture, by the way. He doesn't get bigger or thinner or anything else. He just gets redder.
Just gets redder. Yeah.
It's like he's just clenching really hard.
It really works. Getting you constipated.
Getting you constipated. Why'd you go and have to make me so constipated? Weird Al. We also got Churba. Hey, Churbs.
Hi. How goes?
Hi.
I hear you've been doing streams without me, you fucking traitor.
Yeah, just Life is Strange. That was a interesting game. Yeah.
See, he said interesting. I was hoping he was going to just go with strange.
No, too easy. Come on. No, it was interesting. Maybe very angry at multiple points, but it was a good game.
What game were you playing?
Okay,
Life is Strange.
You got to tell us that, Victor.
What?
Did you save the girl or did you save the town?
Oh, I saved the girl.
Everybody does.
Actually, no. According to the statistics that are given after the game, 68% of people saved the town, and 42% of it's basically a 60-40 percentage of people who saved the town versus saved Chloe. So,
spoilers.
Well, not for people who watch this channel. But yeah, I took a moment to be the right thing to do was to save the town, but I took an instance of self-indulgence is what I did. So, yeah.
So you're saying in real life you would save the many over the needs of the one, but in
of course,
you decided to go the other way.
Yeah, because it doesn't matter, which I guess is kind of the message of the game, but I don't know. So. I don't know. Anyways. So, yes, and I am your happy host, Victor Frost. Tonight, so we got some topics. Got some good topics, I think. We got to start off with one that kind of pisses me off. Tokyo Medical University lowered women's scores. Tokyo Medical University for years apparently lowered the scores of women, test scores of female applicants to admit fewer women because school officials believed that once women got married and had children, they would be unable to fulfill their emergency shifts at hospitals. Coming via quartz.com, qz.com. Apparently, they had been doing this since 2011. Altering the scores of women to make it lower after it recorded a growing number of women getting accepted to the school. The test scores were rigged so that no more than 30% of the successful candidates going to the school would be women. So
they started doing this in 2011. It wasn't like... I feel like, I almost feel like this is one of the things they'd be like, since the 50s, they've been, changing the score. But they actually started recently. and their reasoning was because they thought they would drop out. Aren't there like, wouldn't they just be able to like read a study or something, or like there shouldn't be something on like, oh, let's do a survey of women doctors and see if there's a problem. I mean, I'm not even talking about the wrongness of changing people's scores to like lower them. I just don't understand how do they even come to that conclusion? Like, no one. It's not like other places are doing it. It's like you look at any other medical school and like, why would they assume?
Well, here's the thing. According to the education ministry, universities are allowed to set their own gender ratio if they make those quotas public when taking in new students. The reason that the Tokyo Medical University's conduct was problematic was because it didn't announce those quotas. That's the reason why it's problematic. Apart from the clearly sexist rationale that they're worrying that women will drop out of the workforce once they become pregnant.
No, I mean, it's even more problematic than that because they're altering their scores to make them lower.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like, I mean, it's not, you could set, they're saying they could set a ratio if they told them. Like, let's say you were only going to, they were like, okay, we're going to set it to 30%. That would still not lower a bunch of people's scores. Like, they wouldn't just be going in manual and being like, well, now you got to see.
Yeah.
Like, that's what makes it even, I mean, that's even more horrific. Like, there's like multiple levels of just, it's a tiramisu of shitbaggery is what it is. I mean, doesn't, I don't know. Like, Japan has a couple problems on.
Japan has got a lot of problems.
I mean, did they say that what they were going to do about it? They're like, no, it's legit.
Ostensibly, they're going to stop. The university spokesperson told Japanese media that the school was conducting an internal investigation into the allegations and that it would release the results of the probe at a suitable time, whatever that means. So, about a month ago, Tokyo Medical University is not, this is not the only problem it has had, because about a month ago, it was revealed that they inflated the test scores of the son of an education ministry bureaucrat to make sure he got in.
I mean, why don't they just do what they do in the United States, where it's just like, all right, you're famous, we'll just let you in.
So are you suggesting they should just white people that shit? To steal a line from Will Smith in Suicide Squad.
Well, I'm just saying, like, why are they, like, changing the score? They just say, like, that guy was famous, we're letting him in. Or, like, this guy's got, I mean, that's pretty
much
like the U.S.
He's got money.
The U.S. schools are like, hey, see that building over there? It has the same last name as this person. Like, that's why they're in here. Like,
duh.
Come on. It's not like they try to change the scores or anything. They're just like, what do you want?
It's just so stupid.
So much. I don't know. Yeah. That the LA-based symphonic metal band Anthea gets their due, which is at least one gold record.
Oh, that's nice. What?
It's a non sequitur because, like, you know, it's a shit situation, but there's nothing we can really do about it, and we're not familiar enough with the situation or the culture, nor the language to be able to read any extra material to ground ourselves.
True.
Unfortunately.
So there's not a hell of a lot we can really say about this one, other than it's wrong, which is obvious. They shouldn't do it, which is also obvious.
Yep.
Yeah, there's not enough, and the investigation's not out there, so you can't really see, like, what, like, exactly what they were thinking.
This story is like a ooh, look what they did, ooh kind of deal.
Yeah, that happens a surprising amount where, like, you know, countries outside the US get hit much harder for the things that the US also does.
Yeah.
So
I don't know of any US schools that are lowering people's, well, one, like, to get into a university, you don't actually you're not taking a test to get into that university. You're taking a
I
standardized
did.
that you're submitting.
Oh
But-
yeah, standardized
Yeah.
test. Yeah.
No. What I mean is you're doing like the SAT test, but like the university has no control over that. You submit that to the university. Like I think part of the problem here. Well, I guess medical school might be different too. I don't know. I'm not.
Law school probably as well.
Yeah. Well, law school has tests that you have to take, but yeah, I wonder if it's just the medical school like aspect of it that makes it so that they have to do a specific test for that school. I don't know. I'm not a doctor.
If anybody listening is practicing medicine in Japan, please write in. Let us know if this is
I'm sure that literally all of our listeners who are studying medicine in Japan will write in.
I'm sure. I'm 100% sure of that. Yeah. So let's see here. I knew we would get through that one pretty quick. Good. Excellent. All right. Compassion fatigue in the modern day. A lot of us, I'm sure, have been experiencing this. Either through being bombarded on our Facebook feeds or on the radio. I'm sorry, my brain just decided to stop. So the idea about this is we have to quote the little summary of the article here. We have never been more aware of the appalling events that occur around the world every day, but in the face of so much horror, is there a danger that we become numb to the headlines? And does it matter if we do? I don't know. I don't know if numbness really describes how I feel in relation to all the crap that's in the news. How do you guys feel about that? Gojo?
I was letting Gojo go first. I figured he would have, I figured, the reporter would do it,
Yeah, I know. And that's why I just left it quiet to make Victor squirm.
Make me squirm? I wasn't squirming. Gojo was the one that was going...
Well, that just means I get a bonus now, doesn't it?
Ding.
Well, no, unfortunately, I have a very different perspective on it because, I can't really afford to let myself go numb because if I do, then that means that I'm just letting go one of the senses that can be used, well, one of the instincts, I should say, rather than senses that can be used to pick up a good story. Like, how am I going to know what stories to start chasing down if I don't have any compassion for people?
I don't think it's so much about compassion. I know this is called compassion fatigue, but like one of the things that this article brings up is that if you glance at Twitter or Facebook, you'll probably see someone say, "I'm so tired." There is so much bad news that it feels like we're running out of emotions.
I am tired. I'm always tired. I've been tired for the last 10 fucking years. I'm over it.
You're no longer a morning bird or a night owl. You're some form of permanently exhausted pigeon.
Yes. But, so what if I'm tired? It ain't fucking about me, is it? It's about them. The people who are supposedly tiring us all out. It's not fucking about us. We've got to, step up and help people and pay attention to these stories so that, we know where to direct our attention, where to help people, which people should be punished, probably. Just because we're tired, great. Have a fucking nap and, get back to it. Like, if you are tired, man, if it is not your professional obligation, it's on you. Like, well, self-care is your responsibility because the word self right there in the title.
Yeah, no, we're not, I don't think this article is saying that people shouldn't conduct self-care. I think it's saying that the overall environment is causing compassion fatigue on a much wider and larger scale than previously. It says as a psychologist Charles Figley defines compassion fatigue as, quote, a state of exhaustion and dysfunction biologically, physiologically, and emotional as a result of prolonged exposure to compassion stress. And I think, and don't get me wrong, like, I think that a lot of the major issues that we have to deal with today are very important. LGBT rights are under attack, minority rights are under attack, immigrant rights are under attack. But honestly, sometimes in the midst of all my Facebook feed, I look forward to, rather than seeing a bajillionth shared story of some other tragedy, I'm looking forward to seeing a video from the dodo of a pit bull jumping around and biting at, bubbles in the air.
Yeah, I mean, as somebody who's always been very immersed in politics, it can be somewhat overwhelming. I think one of the things that always kept, one of the things that people make the mistake of is like just reading Twitter and then feeling helpless, whereas like there are things that you could do that are like, not just like in this article, it talks about like, oh, I haven't called my senator. I feel like it's just not even worth it. They don't even pick up most of the time. And I'm like, well, calling your senator can be useful if it's like one of those few swing vote people. But overall, it's going to be kind of like hitting your head against a wall. Like in that case, you really should be like getting involved locally in your politics, like going and talking to like voters, like in person in your neighborhood. Like those sorts of things, you'll feel more energized. Now, am I doing that right now? No. But I mean, it's also, it can be hard with a young child, and your free time and stuff is not necessarily completely available. But I mean, if you really feel like you're not, there are things that people can do that make you feel like you're way more engaged. It's just a lot of times they take time.
Okay, like what?
Well, getting involved, like I said.
Getting involved in local politics. Apart from
getting involved in local politics will take up a lot. I mean, like, I used to sit on meetings, local meetings that would take like 3 hours, like on a weeknight. And like, well, who wants to sit there and like listen to ordinances? Well, I enjoyed myself, but not everybody can do that, right?
No,
certainly
not. I think.
I mean, you just gotta pick and choose your battles. Like, there's just things. You have to like let yourself, some stuff roll over you so you can focus on what actually matters. It's hard to do that. But that's how you can avoid burning out completely.
Twas a Zerg who's listening on YouTube says, I think it could be described as constantly being told to look at this important issue and then 5 seconds later look at this important issue.
Yeah, that's why I was saying to like focus on a particular issue and stay. Like for me, I really focus on environmental issues and foreign policy, just because those interest me the most. And I kind of let the other stuff, I let other people, if it's really important on some other topic, they'll pop me that information and maybe I'll look at it, but I won't like go out of my way to go crazy on it. Just because you only have so much time that you can effectively look at a particular issue or understand it.
Yeah.
You just want to disengage too. Like, sometimes it's okay.
Yeah.
You know what? The most important thing you can do, here's the long and short of it, vote. Yeah, like, just 2 times a year, go in the primary and the general election and vote. Just if at the least you can do is do that. And if you can make sure everybody around you that is voting, that's the best thing you could do. Like, you can donate a bunch of money to causes, but what'll get the most money to those causes that you want? Voting the people in that will, help organize those, activities and not like, roll back California fuel standards.
Yeah. For example. Ugh. Which I think one of the more ridiculous things I've read this week. Although there's just so much. I think it's the disengaging part. Like after you, the fear for me is that yeah, I can disengage. I can completely disengage. I could stop all the news sources coming into Facebook. I could disengage from Facebook entirely, which would probably help a lot on that front. But then the issue is, okay, once I disengage, am I going to want to re-engage when it's important?
Well, I mean, what do you think?
Or will I know when it is important? Is the bigger one once you disengage?
I feel like if something was really big that you really needed to get involved in, you would find out that you need to engage. Like, holy crap, they just outlawed being gay or something. You'd be like, oh, time to get in the streets and do stuff. Like that would definitely like break through your like isolation. It was like,
yeah,
oh.
Sure. If LA erupted in riots, yeah, that would definitely, trigger a flag for me.
Yeah. You'd be like, oh, maybe I should look at the news now. It looks like LA's on fire right now. I should probably
perhaps.
Maybe I need a new TV. What's the nearest Best Buy doing? It's on fire? Perfect. 100% off.
There you go. Yeah. Just too much going on in the world, man. Too much.
I mean, yeah, it's interesting.
Let's not pretend it's not a lot. Sometimes.
I mean, here's the funny part, right? Like, a lot of the stuff that we get really hyped up on is stuff that normal administrations would be saying like behind closed doors and not actually saying it out loud.
Yeah,
I think a lot of what ends up really driving people nuts. There's a lot of stuff like, for example, the administration, like just taking the Trump administration stuff, that they're just floating out there to get a headline, like kind of see what happens. Like they just put out, like, for example, the this like going around about to like cut taxes for the ultra rich, right? Like they just kind of floated it out there, but I think it's because they wanted to grab that headline and grab the attention. Like a lot. I mean, one thing Trump's really good at is making sure he keeps your attention. He doesn't care if it's outrage or whatever, because he knows the people that like him are just going to continue to like him. He could, shoot somebody in the street, like you said, and they would still be like, oh, that guy deserved it. I mean, so it's really all he wants to do is dominate the news cycle away from whatever thing he might actually be going on. Like now, you might not even be paying attention to what's going on in school choice or like the public school system that, is,
as long as he can keep your attention where he wants it, other people can't draw your attention to where they want it.
I mean, like a good one is he was like, "Oh, you know what? I'll meet the prime minister of or the president of Iran without any preconditions." He just floated it out there, and he did that purposely. Like that was not like he's actually going to have a meeting with the president of Iran, because right after that, the State Department like walked it back. But he dominated that news cycle and got everybody outraged. Like, and suddenly everybody's like, how could this be possible? Like freaking everybody yelled at Obama when he said this, but you're just and you made fun of him for saying that, and now you're just gonna do that? What are you doing? And like it's really to kind of get you exhausted. It's to just make it so that you just can't deal with it anymore, because you're just dealing with that. So you just have to cut out a lot of the noise that's being made and look at what actually is being done. And that is where it should be. You should focus more on that and less on like what's going on in Twitter at this exact moment.
Unless it's about cute dogs.
Yeah, like right now I'm looking at a fox picture on Twitter. Like that's pretty nice.
What does the fox say? Let's go, Joe.
Or I don't know. What's that noise? Sounds like. I don't know.
Oh man, how old is that reference now? That's like at least 5 years old.
Oh God, you
What
probably
does
shouldn't
the
look that up.
say? Probably only about 3 years.
No, much older than that.
Say.
Aha! December 2013. It's 5 years, almost 5 years old.
There you go. There's a fox picture.
Oh no, no, it's about 3 years old, 3 or 4 years old. 2014.
For real? Feels older than
Yeah,
that.
14. Feels older. All right. Let's see here. Ding 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 ding. Wait, hold on. I want to see the cute fox picture. Let's see here.
So apparently, there's an hourly fox Twitter feed. I mean,
No kidding. Follow. Let's see. Churba.
Yes.
There's an article in here just for you.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Did you read it?
Did you?
No.
Did you didn't read the article clearly marked Churba bait?
Well, yeah, because it's bait. Only an idiot bites down on the fucking bait.
And so
So I didn't bite down on it, idiot.
it's about your favoritist company and your favoritist person.
Oh, you know what's great?
Harry down at Ballistic Brewery, what did he do?
So I started watching Star Trek Discovery, and they're listing famous scientist inventor people, and they mentioned Elon Musk at that point. I was like, oh, that's funny.
Apparently EA is actually considering patching him out of Mass Effect Andromeda.
Elon Musk was in Mass Effect Andromeda?
Listed the same way, right?
He's just listed the same way.
A list of great scientists.
They're thinking of replacing him with NASA.
But he's not a scientist.
Well, an inventor / business.
He's not an inventor. He's a man who throws money at inventors. That's not the same thing.
So, who was this bait for, anyway?
All right, so the saga of Elon Musk continues with Elon Musk versus the Tesla whistleblower, and it's only getting wilder. So, Churba, can you tell us a little bit more about this whole whistleblower thing?
Okay, basically, Martin Tripp, who is an ex-Navy chap, got a job at Tesla, working on the lines and such as a technician. He saw a bunch of shit that he did not really like the look of and thought was pretty dodge, like damaged battery packs being put in cars and, what's his name? Defective parts being relabeled as test parts, which doesn't seem like much, but basically changes those parts from an OPEX to a CAPEX in a way that is basically just large-scale fraud.
I'm sorry, an OPEX and a CAPEX, what do those mean?
Oh, operational expense, capital expense.
Got it.
But anyway, and he took all of this information and started telling people, started telling investors, started telling the police, started telling the SEC. Through his lawyer, of course.
Right.
And Tesla got word of this and naturally freaked the fuck out.
As you would, being a massive company with shaky finances and a dodgy ability to put out the goods you promised.
So, of course, Elon starts emailing this guy, like, just insult after insult. And weirdly enough, like, the police allegedly got notified of an active shooter threat. Not an active shooter, just the apparent threat of one from some anonymous tipster who tried to call in a threat on Tesla, which was then reported to the police. Tesla have claimed that they verified that Martin Tripp was armed and unhinged because
really?
because little birdies sing, which is the smuggest shit I've ever heard. And as a reminder, I work in politics, so that's something. Yeah, it's just a fucked up situation. And the thing is that there's also the entire counter complaint from Martin Tripp that's been just put out there online that gives you all of his allegations. You can just go and read it. It's actually really weird. You should. It's great.
Much like the man himself.
Yeah, Tripp, he's maybe a bit of an odd duck, maybe not, don't know.
Well, I mean, I was talking more about Elon, but yeah, sure, okay.
Oh yeah, no, Elon is fucking weird, man. that dude
W.
is. There's something fucking wrong with that boy.
Yeah.
Speaking of him, what do you reckon about this business with Twitter fucking temporarily locking people out of their accounts if they change their name to Elon Musk or have Elon Musk in their name?
I hadn't heard of that.
Yeah,
I didn't know.
if you put Elon Musk in your name, they will temporarily lock your account until you do some verification steps and things like that. They claim it's because of apparent scams, like people pretending to be Elon Musk and, you know, doing scams about giving away Ethereum and Bitcoin. But the weird thing is that it seems to have disproportionately hit people who are parodying him. And also there's the problem that some of the accounts got things like the original parody account, Italian Elon Musk. I sent a calzone into space. I don't pay the taxes. That was a joke made by a guy with a verified account who got de-verified and temporarily locked in before they actually instituted the supposed anti-scam measure. So there's some fucking going on here, bro.
Mayhaps there are some peeps at Twitter who are Elon Musk fanboys.
Well,
yeah. Well.
If only there was someone like @Jack who might be an extremely rich Silicon Valley man who has a good reason to be in contact with Elon Musk.
Anywho, yeah, I don't know. Oh, speaking of Tesla, there's that dude that Motherwell put out this documentary recently about this dude in I want to say somewhere in the Northeast, who's repairing and documenting how to repair Teslas.
Oh yes, Rich Rebuilds. I watch his stuff occasionally.
Yep.
He's a good guy.
Yeah, which Tesla does not like at all.
No, they do not.
They don't. They're trying to keep their stuff as hard to repair as Apple stuff.
Oh,
in
I
terms of
found
getting
something
parts.
we need to do a dramatic reading of at the end.
Okay, cool. Gonna do that.
Oh yeah.
Send the link.
Credit.
Yep. Lastly, but certainly not least, there is. Oop, that's the wrong one. Here we go. Now, who here does not like bacon?
I can take it or leave it.
I mean, I prefer sausage, but I do like a bit good bacon.
I also like a good bacon. Fortunately, the subject of this story was not turned into bacon. A pet pig in Indiana has been hailed as a hero after police claimed he might have scared away burglars during an attempted break-in earlier this week. The burglars reportedly broke into an Indianapolis house through the back door, but left without stealing anything. Authorities believe that was down to Dumplin', the pet pig living at the property. You name a pig Dumplin'?
Well, I mean, that sounds like a great name for a pig.
That's like naming a chicken Nugs.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think that's kind of mean. Don't you?
I mean, naming your pig Bacon, or maybe, I don't know.
Come on. You know, naming a pig Dumpling is like naming a chicken Nuggets, and it's just terrible.
Nugs would be a good name. I like Nugs.
Nugs,
dude. If I ever own a
Nugs the chicken.
If I ever own a chicken, I'm gonna name it Nugs now.
Do you have plans to own a chicken?
No, but I have friends that just bought a house up this way that plan to have chickens, and I will encourage them to name one Nugs.
If your friends get chickens and name a chicken Nugs, take a picture of it. It'll be the official internet pet of Friday Night Party Line or something.
So I don't think this is that crazy. If I was breaking into a house,
right?
And, like, I didn't hear barking, but then I heard scrambling, and then some like dark. I mean, if you look at this pig, this pig is like light on the body, and like its head is just dark black.
Yeah.
I would be freaked out at something like scrambling towards me in the darkness. So, I mean,
making horrifying screeching kind of noises.
Yeah, like I can't even do a little like squeal or whatever.
Well, that's the thing. Angry pigs don't squeal; they grunt very threateningly.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I'm out. I'm like, this.
Peace.
I'm like, there's clearly a better house, like with a cat, that I could deal with.
Like, I grew up around farms. I know not to fuck with pigs. I'd be out the door.
Pigs, dangerous. Won't mess with them. Not today. Nope.
Fucking, you know what they say? Never fuck with a man who owns a pig farm.
I mean, is this really just an advertisement?
Find your body.
This is really just an advertisement to adopt a miniature pig. I feel like this article.
There is no such thing as miniature pigs.
It was actually a big problem for a while there of people scamming people with miniature pigs that were just piglets.
No, hey,
so
look, wait a minute.
Grow into full-size pigs.
Wait a second.
You know what, though?
This article says
Paris. Yeah.
There's a ton of miniature pigs that are in shelters and rescues that don't have homes, and they're great animals, suggesting that others should consider adopting a pet pig for security purposes. No, I didn't.
There are no miniature pigs.
All right, we're gonna Google this.
Paris Hilton had what she called a miniature pig as a pet. There was this big fashion sort of thing. Celebrities were getting pigs left and right. But bless her heart, she kept the pig, and it's a big-ass pig now.
Yeah, but they're good pigs, Brent.
They're good pigs, Brent.
Okay. Turns out that Scott's right, and Victor is right.
Okay.
There's no such thing as a miniature pig. However,
there you go.
The reason there's no such thing as a miniature pig is that that's just a misnomer for a bunch of very small breeds of domestic pigs, like mini potbellies, Gottingen mini pigs, Juliana pigs, Choctaw hogs, and kune pigs.
Kune pigs.
Kune probably means pig in Japanese, so I probably just said pig.
Pig.
Which makes me sound weirdly calm about being very excited about a pig.
Kune pig. Now I gotta find out. It is from New Zealand.
That's kind of a surprise. I didn't know they were from New Zealand. Oh, Jesus, that is an ugly motherfucker.
That is a very fuzzy pig, is what that is.
You could shave that dude, and I'm not sure what you do after shaving him, but it's New Zealand. I'm sure they've figured something out already.
Yeah, probably. I like the pigs that are breeded to basically have the Denmark flag on them.
What?
Yeah, you never heard of the pigs that have like the Danish flag? Hold on.
No.
Danish pigs.
Clearly I have not, or else I would not be reacting like that.
The potbelly pig is really weird. It actually goes. I mean, it's known as the eye pig in Vietnam. That's interesting.
Does it come with a proprietary charger?
It's also endangered.
No, that turns out they don't do too well if you give them the lightning.
You just end up with eye bacon.
Actually, I wonder. I'm going to go look up Paris Hilton's pig.
Yeah, it's good pigs. It's pigs.
Paris Hilton's pig. Where's a picture of Paris Hilton's pig with Paris Hilton?
No.
No.
It's a fucking pig.
Okay, one of the image results it gave me for Paris Hilton's pig was Kim Kardashian.
Oh, shit! Alright, well, anyway, there's a link to the Danish protest pigs.
Oh,
There's
it
a-
turns out that Paris Hilton's pig is a quote-unquote miniature pig.
But it's a big-ass pig.
Have you ever seen like an actual pig? This motherfucker's like a fifth of the size of a proper pig.
No, I can't say I've ever seen a pig in person, but they already look pretty fucking big. And that one doesn't look too much smaller.
Pigs ain't small.
No,
They are
they're
small
not.
beings.
No, they're not. They're big. Big pig.
Big Pig was an Australian band, by the way.
Was it then? Okay.
Yes.
Big
Well, I mean, it is an Australian band, but also pigs are just big in general.
pig. Yeah.
Yeah, have you ever heard the song Hungry Town?
I don't know.
Really?
No, I've heard Funky Town. What Hungry Town?
It was in Young Einstein. Have you ever seen Young Einstein?
You mean Little Einsteins?
No, Young Einstein.
No, Young Einstein.
With Young
No, I've
and
never
Serious.
seen Young Einstein.
What the fuck?
What? What?
You're disrespecting my culture.
Yeah, your culture. I ain't never seen no Young Einstein.
Well, it's got Yahoo Serious in it. So. It's basically a film about what it would be like if Einstein was young, Australian, and instead of physics was extremely concerned with beer and rock and roll.
Okay.
Like, part of the story is that he uses mass energy equivalence as the formula to split beer atoms to create bubbles in beer. At one point, he splits a beer atom with a hammer and chisel.
Very scientific. I can tell.
It is an excellent film.
My life is less enriched for having not experienced it.
It
Clearly.
genuinely is. Like that. It is an award-winning film.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Okay.
It's pretty famous.
Literally
Okay.
award-winning.
I've seen Young Frankenstein. I don't know.
Also good. Not the one I mean. Fuck, there's a catch.
Young Einstein. All right.
Honestly, Scott, I don't know.
I'm
what
sorry.
this
Is the name of the
would be.
actor Yahoo Serious?
Yes. That is literally his name.
Young Frankenstein.
Okay.
He did change
All
it by
right.
Dean Polo. he was not born Yahoo Serious, but he
I was
remains Yahoo
assuming.
Serious to this day.
I mean, like, you gotta be some cruel parents to have the last name Serious and then name your kid Yahoo.
He's currently one of the directors of the Kokoda Track Foundation, which is a humanitarian organization in Papua New Guinea.
Okay. All right.
He's
Sure.
a good guy. He's a good guy. He's a
yeah.
funny guy too.
Yeah. Yeah. I bet. All right then. So we got a little bit before the show is meant to end. What has been making you guys happy recently? I will go first because clearly you guys need some time to ruminate on the question.
I was mostly thinking about young Einstein.
For me, it's the new anime Cells at Work. That has been making me super happy.
Oh. Have you? Did you know that there is actually 2 companion series to that?
I did not. What is it?
They're not animated yet, but
Yeah.
there's one about a extremely lazy group of young cells who don't want to work,
Okay.
and then there is also Cells at Work: Black, which is basically Cells at Work, except it's in the body of a guy who smokes and drinks too much.
Oh.
I actually star in that one. I'm the guy.
How are you? Well, good. It's been too long since you've gotten the recognition that you deserve. What about you, Chirpa? What's been making you happy recently?
Let's see.
Do,
Pause.
There's bacteria at work.
I have been doing a lot of work, so not a great deal of time for recreation. But I went to Comic Street recently. The tiny Pintheon pins that I kickstarted arrived, so they are banging. There you go.
Nice.
There is Sekhmet, she who tightens the throat. Let's see. There you go.
Oh, nice.
Oh, neato.
Ibis god of writing. I'm not going to show you the other two. Yakuza 0 came out for PC, which is pretty banging. It's $20. You roll around in like 80s Japan, kick the shit out of some dudes, kick shit out of a lot of dudes, in fact.
I've been ruminating picking that up, personally.
Seems you can't walk like 15 steps without someone wanting to kick the shit out of you. You can also
As you do.
You can play pachinko, karaoke, batting cages. I think there's probably a hard-boiled crime story in there somewhere, but I've been too busy playing mini games.
Sounds a lot like me when I was playing Shenmue.
Let's see. What was the other thing? God damn it, brain. Why are you just failing me today? Oh, yes. Heaven Will Be Mine. Have you heard of it?
No.
You're a fucking heathen.
Let's check it out here. Oh, wait a minute. No, I have heard of this.
Exactly. It is a giant mech romance visual novel kind of dealy from our dear friends over at
Pillow Fight Games.
Victor. Thank you, finally. Dear friends of Pillow Fight Games. And from the same artist and writer as We Know the Devil. But yeah, it's looking to be good. It has been getting fantastic reviews from all over the place. The fan art is banging. I was talking about Yakuza, Wealthy, yes. Or just like, you know, me from 10 years ago.
10 years ago, yeah.
Apparently 10 years ago I was in the 80s.
Oh, no.
No, 10 years ago I was running in the 90s.
No, 10 years ago we were running in the mid 2000s. Early 2000s.
We were too. Why is it that we just get frozen in the period that we were in our early 20s?
There is actually that process is actually very well understood. It is part of the field of study of neurology of adolescence, because our brains are building connections at a enormous rate when we're adolescents and in our early teenage years. That is the point of our life that feels like the kernel of our self. It's very cool.
But that is not nearly as catchy as the old Australian aphorism. The music that you love when you started getting laid is the music you'll love till your casket's in the grave.
Sure, okay.
And the first time I ever got a girl in the sheets, she let Beastie Boys' Paul's Boutique play on repeat. Anyway.
I just never really changed after age 12. I mean, pretty much just where I'm at. I always go on that. It's sort of tangential to what I was going to mention, which is like a lot of people complain. They're like, "Oh man, there's too many like Star Wars and Marvel movies and superhero stuff out there," and I'm just like, "Yo, 12-year-old me cannot imagine the world we currently live in pop culture. If you told 12-year-old me that everything he loved would be making billions of dollars and like you'd be getting like a Star Wars film every year, 12-year-old me would not believe you. If you said there'd be a bunch of Marvel films and they'd all be making billions of dollars and they'd be good, like 12-year-old me would also think that you're stupid and I doesn't understand why you'd be saying that. So it's just kind of funny. Okay. I'm like, I'm still 12 years old. But what's making me happy?
Yes.
I started watching while I was at the beach. I mean, the beach makes me happy. I started watching Star Trek Discovery, and I've been enjoying that. I'm always missing a little Star Trek, like Klingon politics. I'm always looking forward to those things. I'm reading a ton of comic books because that's what I do in my spare time these days.
Well, you've got to prepare for your panel about every comic book that's
I
been written.
Oh my god, I have a monthly DCBS order, and it's about $110 like every month.
Oh my god, that's an inordinate amount of comic books.
Well, it's really like $200 something because you get them at like 50% off, so it's like yee. But yeah, just always trying to catch up on the backlog.
Okay, well, Wealthy Aardvark posted this link to a Twitter about Yakuza 0 in there, and I need to buy this game because apparently the Yakuza have a prolonged disco dancing scene.
I played the disco game last night. It is actually really well put together and quite enjoyable.
Oh, apparently you can get it for $16 on Fanatical.
Yes,
saves you $5.
You want to know why both of them are dancing? Both of the main characters are dancing together in that GIF. It's because you can multiplayer the mini games.
Oh, okay.
Wait.
I thought the answer was they are hella gay or something. I don't know.
No, but they should be.
How does that?
be.
How do you play multiplayer? Like it's a single player game, right? Do they break into your game like Dark Souls and then you play like disco?
I don't know because I'm the only person I know who owns Yakuza 0 on PC right now.
I will be owning it.
It just says it on the main screen. It's just on the title screen. It's just like, hey.
I will say this: the biggest thing that sold me, that got me to continue watching Cells at Work, were those adorable little platelets. Tell me they're not the most adorable things.
I'm trying to remember the platelets.
Oh, come on. Hang on.
I haven't watched it yet, so I only listened to the review of it yet.
What?
Dude, I'm working through all the freaking DC TV shows right now on the treadmill.
Oh my god.
Anime. I just got through all the Crisis on
hang on. I gotta...
Oh, are you looking forward to Teen Fuck Batman Titans?
Maybe. I don't know. I've been on the fence whether I was going to get the DC... universe thing.
Hang on. Here you go. Platelets. Boom. So cute. So adorable. Platelets.
DC Universe might be worth it just to have a streaming copy of Superman. I had not seen this show.
They are the cutest little things. It's just... I could die.
Interesting.
And then they go get all badass in the second episode. It's great. Anyways. All right, then that is it for this week on Friday Night Party Line. Join us next week for Acceptable Vices, where I am sure we will have something entertaining for you guys to tune into. Maybe we'll get Skojo on Elite Dangerous again.
And join us in about 30 seconds for a dramatic reading.
For a dramatic reading, apparently. You have yet to send that thing.
Yeah, I did. It's like the fucking link I sent in the chat at 11:28.
So That's okay, so 6:28. Let's see here.
Oh yeah, time zones.
Yeah.
Mm,
Okay. Sure. Is that the article from the Northern Star? Yeah.
No, you maniac. Yes.
Where am I looking at? Okay. Okay. Hang on. Let's see here.
Oh, Scott,
okay.
if you would also read out the tweet from FrizzKid for us.
Yeah. Hang on a second. One second. So that is it for this week on Friday Night Party Line. You'll catch us next week on Acceptable Vices. Join us after the ending theme to hear a wonderful dramatic reading. I'm Victor Frost. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Skojo.
what? Oh, I have to say goodnight. I smile. We're on video.
Well, typically you do.
Okay.
Anyway.
Good night, guys.
There you go. That's perfect.
Good night, darlings. Sleep tight.
Good night, Gracie. Good night, Gracie. Night, Gracie. All right, let's see here. All right, so dramatic reenactment. Who's doing what?
Okay, Skojo can be FrizzKid. You're French.
Oh my
Elon
God.
Musquet.
Moose.
Musk.
Monus. Man.
I'll leave pronunciation up to you.
Yeah, great.
All right, hang on.
Well, wait, how do you even read this? Do you start?
You read FrizzKid's little tweet, and then I'll be French Elon Musk, and Trevor will be Irish Elon Musk, and we'll just continue from there.
I'm sorry, Owen.
Okay.
Oh, God.
So you're supposed to read it out loud. Maybe I wasn't.
No, give me a second. Esquagget? What? Esquagget?
Escargot.
Then why does... Oh, this is a wrong pronunciation.
I take it back. I'm not leaving pronunciation to use.
No, really. I went... Oh, this must be the joke one.
Oh my God.
I just wanted to make sure I didn't say something stupid.
It means snail.
Yes.
Yeah, I know what escargot is. Oh, man. Oh, no.
Feel free to read it like a Victorian child asking for more, if you wish.
Monsieur Musk. Monsieur Musk. Will you be sending escargot to space?
I will remove the entire continent of France from the Earth and eject it into orbit.
Oh, here now, don't be doing that. I just booked a ferry to La Rochelle, like.
Who the fuck are you?
And the real Musky Chancer.
Another Musk. I see. We will have to duel.
Fuck. South African Elon Musk just fucking comes flying in from the wings. I'm South African Elon Musk. I don't pay taxes.
All right. Well, for those of you watching live, thanks for sticking around. You will catch us next week. And
I want to see a movie about South African Elon Musk, except he's played by Sharlto Copley. Like, just playing every character he's ever played, because like 90% of the characters he's played are extremely dodgy South African criminals.
Yeah, so catch us on tune back in on Tuesday for another episode of Victor Plays. We'll be playing whatever's at the top of the Victor Plays interactive game queue. And if you are in the Los Angeles area, come to the Burbank Marriott On Saturday, the 18th, I'm going to be performing 3 different panels there. You should come check it out. It's Anime California. So you can come check us out. But with that, good night, folks.